A controversial marijuana bill faced its first hearing at the state capitol. The measure increases oversight of medical marijuana caregivers. Those are the people who grow pot for patients. Political specialist Sean Boyd live in Denver for us tonight. And Sean, how many caregivers are we talking about here in Colorado?
And Karen, nearly 3,000, although they aren't tracked well. Unlike dispensaries, which are heavily regulated, medical marijuana caregivers are largely unregulated. And some lawmakers say that's led to abuses, including large grow operations that are more like small-scale businesses. Nearly 15 years after Colorado legalized medical marijuana, lawmakers considered a bill putting caregivers, patients, and grow operations under scrutiny like never before.
What we're really hoping to do is to provide additional protections for caregivers who are performing a service for patients.
The legislation would require Colorado's nearly 3,000 caregivers to register with the state. Names, locations, number of patients, and plants.
Patients and caregivers will not be protected, and having a list such as this does put them at risk for intrusion from law enforcement and also from intrusion into the patient-doctor relationship by the state.
Terry Robnett with Cannabis Patients Alliance says the list also puts caregivers at risk of being outed to the federal government under new administration. But supporters say the bill is meant to protect the legitimate caregivers and stop those diverting it to the black market.
If you come across somebody now who says they're a caregiver, do you have any way of verifying that?
We really don't. We have no caregiver registry card or anything like that for law enforcement to know whether this person is legit or not.
While caregivers are required to register with the state now, only 1% have. There's no penalty. Under the bill, anyone who didn't register would lose their caregiver status permanently.
To scare the doctors, scare the patients, scare the caregivers, create a climate of fear, driving people into the dispensaries, the recreational dispensaries.
Opponents say the real goal is to move some of the 115,000 medical marijuana patients into the tax-generating recreational pot market. Under the bill, patients would be identified by number only, and police could only access the registry to check on a specific caregiver. The bill also limits caregivers to 36 plants. They would have to demonstrate a medical necessity for any more. The bill did pass its first committee unanimously today. Live in Denver, Sean Boyd, CBS 4 News.